Alright, what is up guys, and welcome back. Well, not welcome back, because this is a new channel now. Because I had a gaming channel, and that didn't work, so now I'm going to start a new one. I'm going to keep the same channel, but I'm going to just delete all the gaming videos off. And I'm going to put the new ones up there, which are going to be horror videos. And I'm going to be doing all horror movie reviews, unboxing masks, and just like stuff like that. And for the first video, I'm going to do the real life story of Michael Myers from Halloween, because Halloween is my favorite horror movie, and I figured that would be a really good first video. So I'm going to be going over a guy named Stanley Steers, who's supposed to be the real life Michael Myers. And for the first video, I'm going to have to look off my phone because I haven't really got the memorizing stuff down yet. So for the first few videos, I'm going to have to look off my phone. But hopefully after the first few videos, I won't have to do that anymore. So it says Michael Myers is a terrifying killer from the Halloween movie franchise created by John Carpenter in 1978 called Halloween. He first appears as a young boy who murders his sister Judith Myers, only to return 15 years later to kill even more teenagers as he searches for the sister who got away. While some believe that Michael Myers is simply a work of fiction, others believe his character is based on a real person, a boy named Stanley Steers. Stanley Steers was born in 1912 in Iowa. At the time, his parents were elated to have a happy and healthy little boy. Unbeknownst to them, however, there was a mischievous nurse working in the hospital nursery. After Stanley was born, she took him and swapped him with another baby just for kicks. Both families happily took their babies home, not realizing the mistake. But there was more bad to come. The other family was involved in a terrible auto accident on their way home from the hospital. Both they and the Steers baby were killed. Not long after, the Steers discovered that their baby was not their own. The nurse in the hospital was sent to prison, but that did little to help the family deal with the situation they found themselves in. They grew resentful of Stanley and began to drink heavily. They spent the majority of their time drunk and shouting at the young boy, locking him in his room and trying to make him miserable as punishment for not being theirs. Then they had another baby, this time a little girl. They named her Susie, and she became their whole world. She was their princess, and they gave her everything she could ever want. While still treating Stanley like he was the bane of their existence, Susie picked up on it, and she too began to treat Stanley very poorly, often hitting or kicking him and always yelling at him. In school, Stanley was often bullied for how he looked or how he behaved. His sister did nothing to help, often joining in when the other kids would tease or mock. He had no friends, got very poor grades. In 1923, Stanley was 11 years old. All he wanted to do was go trick-or-treating like all the other kids. He had never been allowed to go, but his parents said no, yet allowed Susie to go to a Halloween party the night before Halloween. Little did they know this would be the final straw. See, this isn't exactly how Halloween goes, because because in the first Halloween, they don't really touch on that. But Rob Zombie's Halloween, see, he wanted his sister to take him, but his sister wouldn't take him because she would rather hook up with her boyfriend. And that's what ticked Michael off. In the first Halloween, you don't really get a backstory. It just starts off with Michael's sister and her boyfriend going up to the room, and he's outside lurking through the window. But just hours after Susie returned home, Stanley snapped. He took a butcher knife from the kitchen and stabbed her multiple times until he knew she was dead. He then turned on his parents, killing them in their beds. Finally, he turned to the family dog, killing him as well. When Halloween came, he went trick-or-treating for the first time ever. See, in the Halloween, there wasn't a dog, and he didn't kill the parents in the original Halloween. And all he killed was his stepdad Ronnie in Rob Zombie's remake. He didn't end up killing his mom in the Rob Zombie remake. She ended up killing herself. But of course his bullies were still out there, and Stanley attacked and killed as many as he could without being seen. At one point, he even invaded the home of one of his bullies, killing him and his entire family, before returning to the street to collect more candy. He was having the time of his life and stayed out until morning, sitting on a swing at the school playground, gleefully eating his candy. That's when the feds swooped in, and he was taken to a private psychiatric institution where he was studied for the next 13 years, kind of like Michael Myers was in the Halloween movie. All records of Stanley were suppressed, including his Halloween killing spree, to the rest of the world. It was as though he never existed. The government wanted to know that what would make a boy snap like he did, and what gave him the strength and ability to kill so many people. They opened the study up by first looking for signs of the paranormal, but they found nothing, not even the slightest sign of demonic possession. But they didn't stop there. They knew he was a danger, and they continued working on and with him. But then on Halloween 1936, a couple of orderlies started to harass Stanley. He was 24 years old and had grown quite a bit over the past 13 years, standing at 6'4" and 260 pounds. They should have known better. Stanley snapped their necks as easily as if he was snapping a pretzel in half, which is a lot like Michael Myers. See, he got locked up, and then 20 some odd years later, he returned to kill more guards because they were teasing him, kind of like in Halloween, the Rob Zombie version. That really didn't happen in Halloween 1, in the original, because they never really touched him in the institution. It just started off as him escaping. He walked right out the front doors of the institution, where he was met with resistance. The feds had been alerted and were standing armed in the parking lot. Stanley didn't stop though. He walked straight out, and while he was shot multiple times, he managed to take out everyone who would try to stop him. Some say Stanley possessed superhuman strength and that he was able to lift and throw a car, killing all the federal agents in the parking lot that night. Others say he was just that terrifying that he felt no pain, and the agents backed down or were killed when Stanley got his hands on him. While there being no legitimate or legal record of Stanley Sears, we can never know for sure if he really existed. So all this might even be BS. He might not even be real. We do know that John Carpenter has stated that when he was in college, he went on a class trip to a mental institution in Kentucky. There he visited the most seriously mentally ill patients. Among these was a young boy aged 12 to 13. He said the boy gave a real evil stare, which he found unsettling, creepy, and completely insane. While the boy John Carpenter described couldn't be Stanley Steers. Is it possible his inspiration truly was the story of Stanley Steers? I don't know. I don't even know if it's true. It's just something I read, but I thought it was a really cool story and decided that I would make that my first video. And I know the first video is going to be really bad, so just bear with me because I still got a lot of things to be working on. I'm just trying to get the channel up and active before my masks come in, so I can do the unboxing videos and get everything set up with them. So I'm going to try to edit and make it look as good as I can. But I mean, I've still got to figure out all the editing software and all that. If y'all have a recommendation on where I should edit my videos, leave a comment, and tell me also what else you guys want to see, because I've got a few ideas but not very many. So if y'all could let me know what y'all like to see. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed, and subscribe, and see you in the next one.